thing. At 54 or below for any artist, there's 2 shows a night. Not Luann's, the second show. It's another show. So they don't play around. It is a 1-hour show. You ain't getting any more of whoever that performer is. So at 7 o'clock, Luann comes on. At 8 o'clock, Luann's off. So yeah, I had 3
at
martinis.
7:59,
right.
Say goodbye. Say your goodbyes. Yeah.
Say your goodbyes. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure. So there are moments that are fuzzy. I'm going to be honest. There are moments where that third martini just makes it all brown and black and the memory slips. Now she ends with money, with money can't buy you class. But it's like a different version. It's like a rock version. And this is where people are fucking lost their mind, going batshit crazy. So that's where
they are crowd surfing. Right. There's a mosh pit.
Fucking crazy. And I'm just like, and then when it's over, of course I'm drunk and I'm like, it was great. And I'm like, this is a legend, people. I'm telling the people that are now sitting with us that I just described, I'm like, this is a fucking legend. So I got on the Luann train. Then I was texting Elise Slane. She was the friend on Real Housewives 2 years ago that Ramona brought on, and they hate each other now. She's friends with Leah. So I was texting her at the beginning of the night saying like, Leah's here and Luann's a legend. And I think Elise was not interested in me talking about what a legend Luann is. Like, she's just like, what? She's like, she's not a legend to me. And I'm like, okay, Elise, well, she's a legend to me. But
yeah, you're like, it's happening.
But Leah and Elise are friends. See there, I'm giving you guys tea. So, and then Leah, who was sitting alone, eventually was joined by 2 guys. Let me tell you, Miss McSweeny can bank. These guys, one of them was decent and the other was fucking hot. So then I was telling Elise, I was like, oh, and by the way, Leah's here. And she's like, you went to see Luann again? Because I had dinner with Elise last week. I'm like, no, I was telling you this was the night I was going. I didn't go again. And I'm like, she's like, oh, is Leah's guy young? And I'm like, yeah. So I mean, apparently Elise knows who this guy is because Elise and Leah are very close in real life. So Miss McSweeny was with a guy. So then the show was over and we said goodbye to our new friends. And I'm like, listen to the podcast. And then I said to my friend, come on, let's go to the green room. I mean, I could have probably brought these 2, but I'm like, it's not my place. And like, we went to the green room. There was Leah. There was Nicole Miller. And that's where I drunkenly was like, Luann, like, you didn't have to shout. Like, come on. Like, that was and she's like, keep supporting me from the beginning. So I did get a picture. My friend didn't hold the phone up high enough. It's a horrible picture, but I'm going to post it anyway. But yeah, I mean, literally for everybody out there who wants a review, I mean, look, go and see it. Like, it's going to entertain you. It's Housewives talk. You can ask anything during the Q&A.
That's what I was going to ask. What was what fan was just balls to the wall, like wild question, wild moment, or was it all sort of,
it's all like, nobody asked about next season or like the ratings or when is Roni going to come back and when are we going to, nothing like that. It was just more like, is Ramona really as awful as, we all think, and like stuff about girls trip. Listen, Luann, that's the thing about Luann. She gives that professional answer. Like Luann has a way of just like when she was on my show, one time I said like, if you couldn't invite someone back, who would it be? And she's like, now, darling, I wouldn't be an OG if I answered questions like that. Oh my God, drop the mic. Perfect answer.
Done.
And it's said in the Luann way. And you're like, yeah, this is brilliant. So that's why, like, when Luann comes on my show, like, I can't go there. She'll never get dirty. That's just her thing. And it works for her. So, but from a review, there you go. I was drunk. Leah was there with a cute boy, texting Elise. Elise did not want to hear about how I was calling Luann a legend and an icon. Listen, I'm like a happy drunk, guys. And then we saw Luann afterwards, and she's going on tour in 2022. And
how was the green room set the seat? Like, were there snacks? Did Luann herself have a cocktail? Like we're right there.
Well, Luann did from the stage take a sip of her frosé. She has a frosé, and non-alcoholic. So no, and that is the thing. I've been in the green room every time. Back in the day, there was champagne when you walked up to. Nope, there's no liquor in the green room, nor would I think any's allowed. Like if I had my drink and I wouldn't have taken it. I mean, I was drunk. I might have taken it, but I think I was still like, oh shit, I shouldn't. So it's like, no, there's no alcohol in the green room. None.
No snacks.
Snacks.
No hot guys. Okay.
Leah's guy was hot, but
Yeah.
was there any other hot guys? I mean, I wanted to talk to Nicole Miller, who's kind of a legend in the fashion world. Was there any hot guys? No, I think that, I mean, the guy that goes around and asks the questions, which is like her new person in the show that does that, is kind of like a step up. He's cute guy. I think I thought the hottest guy was the young little child that was sitting with us.
And that's all that
And
matters.
by child, I mean 26, which I mean, I'll stand by. That's
Listen,
what a child
it's
is. But
all that matters. You know, I love an age gap. Erica Jane loves an age gap. You know, we're here
like
for
an
it. And
age
you're
gap.
texting. That's all that
listen,
matters.
I'd like to date age appropriate and lots of money. Doesn't seem to happen for me. And so therefore we are just, Daddy David is in the house. This seems to be what everybody wants from me.
2022.
So, but that is, you know, that is the review, and the next show is going to be different. But I mean, I even told Luann, like, she said, did you notice it was all different? Like, and I was like, holy shit. And I was like, listen, this is the best show I've ever seen of yours. And she's like, I know. So Luann realizes it's changed.
Shameless.
Like they just, it's better than it ever has been. I can't explain it. And now it's not going to be Christmas songs when, you know, it comes back,
Right.
but it's just, I think she just is in her, she's used to it, and the songs are different, and like they've worked out the kinks.
Right. And good for her, because, you know, everybody is like, and everybody is like tired and depressed. The last 2 years have been hell. And it's like good for her for like seemingly coming out of this pandemic. Like she's coming out guns blazing, coming out swinging. She rested up. She did what she had to do better than ever. It's like, I'm here for that.
And for anyone who's never seen Luann in person, I mean, she literally is drop dead gorgeous. Like there's a couple of these housewives. I mean, they're all really, but some are just stunning. Like Luann is literally just what you think. In the Jovani, the slit all the way up, showing the leg. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
How old is she?
Definitely late 50s. She's not 60, late 50s. Like
okay, maybe. This is so on brand. Literally in the podcast episode I shot today that I was telling you about, I was talking about this very idea, and how in the Sex and the City, back to that really quick, that reboot, how they're acting like they're freaking geriatric and in an assisted living home, and they're supposed to be in their 50s. They have like, you know, I don't know what is going on. They got like the gray hair, hearing loss, all these problems. And I'm like, listen, J-Lo, who's on a stripper pole, did not sign up for this. She would be reeling. And now we can, you know, put Luann in that camp too. It's like, no, bitch. Since
Luann.
when? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to have, you know, this situation in my 50s. I'm trying to be thriving, pussy popping on a stage like Luann, you know.
Erica's 50, you know, like say what you want
right.
about her. I mean, no, listen, I'm not going down without a fight. Like I'm gonna do what I have to the bitter end. And I give lots of credit to people that don't do anything. Like Drew Barrymore is on air aging and basically saying like, I'm not interested in Botox. No. So I literally give props to anyone out there. I'm not shaming anyone. I wish that I had that much character as a human being. I don't. I'm sadly too superficial, and I will literally get this face filled and get shots in my forehead till the end of time and do everything I have to. And anyone that doesn't, it's not like I'm looking down upon you. I'm actually looking up at you, because you are way more of a self-actualized human being than I am.
It's just an attitude. It's just an attitude. Like the idea that in your 50s, like you can have 60s, whatever it is, like have life and be energized, you know, whatever, Botox or not. It's like, you know, so I love it.
You know what I was going to say before I change the subject? Two things. One, I have somebody coming up from Sex and the City. Boom, drop that bomb. Someone pretty major is coming up on this podcast and already recorded. And I had someone that I just recorded from Ultimate Girls Trip who was talking about Ramona in the shower being naked, just to your point. And I said, well, Luann was naked. She flashed that towel. And this housewife, I never like to tell guests before they actually are on the rope, but the person already recorded, she was like, yeah, but there's something about Luann naked and that European like dolling. She's like, it's just okay. And I'm like, say no more. I get exactly what you mean. Because I'm like, here you are like in shock that you saw Ramona. I mean, you saw Luann too. She was naked and she was like, yeah, but isn't it that's just Luann? And she's like European and free. And I'm like, oh yeah, exactly. So how is it that the Countess is just, she has that sex appeal? Men, women, everyone loves the Countess. So
it's an attitude. It's an attitude.
But no drinking. And I saw that. And that's the Leah gossip. So see the show, guys. sorry to go on and on. This wasn't meant to be like anyone that hates Luann. This wasn't meant to convert you. That's like an honest thing of how the show was. And I think, listen, I went not like, I didn't want to like it. Like I've already seen it. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to have a nice night. I fucking loved it. So this isn't like I had an ulterior motive. Like I went from like telling these kids, you'll get so excited when it comes on. Don't worry. Telling my friend, just, you'll have fun. And then she comes on and I'm like fucking screaming on top of my lungs. So David, fucking check yourself in the corner because you are not cooler than any